Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are. In the world, I'm here live in London doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Christ Triumphant. The title today, Abel's offering represented Christ's sacrifice. Genesis 4, 6 and 7. Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. In the working of God's people, there are always times of test and trial, and God does not design that we shall shield men and women and youth from the liabilities that test the character. God will reveal his workings and will supply his attributes to the humble people who are seeking him. Satan also will reveal his workings and supply every soul he tempts with his attributes, his evil surmisings, his evil speaking, and accusing of the brethren. From the condition of things, the Lord cannot possibly shield those who place themselves on the enemy's side, for God does not compel the human mind. He gives his bright beams of light as a lamp to lead and guide all who will walk in the rays reflected from him. That lamp, his word, is a light unto our feet. But if people disregard the path lighted by the heavenly beams and choose a path suited to their own natural hearts, they will stumble on in darkness, not knowing where they stumble or why. They'll accuse and hate the very ones who make straight paths for their feet. The history of Cain and Abel will be repeated. Cain insisted on carrying out his own plans in his offering to the Lord. Abel was steadfast in carrying out the directions of the Lord. He would not be converted in Cain's way, although the offering of Cain was a very acceptable one. That which made the offering required at all, the blood of the slain lamb, was left out. There could be no harmony between the two brothers, and contention must come. Abel could not concede to Cain without being guilty of disobedience to the special commands of God. The Lord, the Lord preferred the offering of Abel because it was correct. His offering was of value because it prefigured the redemption plan of God in the costly offering of his only begotten Son as the hope and salvation of the fallen race. Cain was very angry when God accepted the offering of Abel and gave no sign that he recognized the offering of Cain because it left out the true figure, the representation of the world's Redeemer. But the Lord did not give up his way and will to conciliate Cain. He reasoned with him. Why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. Abel's offering represented Christ's sacrifice. So it's referring back again to doing as God asks us to do, or should I say, commands us to do, directs us to do. And this is going back to Cain and Abel. Abel offering the lamb, Cain offering his best fruits from the ground. But this is not what God asked them to do. God wanted the best. He asked for a lamb to be sacrificed, blood shed. And that is what is required, the blood shed. That was what was required. And you cannot get that from crops and fruits. And it goes into the fact that God does not force us to serve Him, to worship Him, to follow Him. He gives us the directions, like the map. The Bible is like our guide, it's our map, it's the basic information before leaving Earth. But basic information before leaving Earth, but if we don't use and follow the Bible, we will not leave Earth. And the only place we want to go is that way. Because if we stay here, this will become hell. And that's where we do not want to stay. God gives us clear directives in His Word. And if we don't follow them, if we don't allow Him to lead us, then the enemy is leading us instead. We can only be led by one of the two. And if we're not going by what He says, we are falling foul to what everything else says. And that is not the right way. Don't be angry with God. And don't let pride make you fall foul of not reaching where we want to go.